All right, everybody. Now, I'm sorry about yesterday. I had to change the settings on my mic, and I don't know if they're any better. But I realized, actually, let me see. Try. I'm going to double check, but I think it should be a lot better. But anyway, all right. So we were here, and we had this, and we did this. So now it's time to go a little further, and we will work with forms here on Yii2. So let's say, to achieve this goal, create an action, 2 views, also create a model. Create a model, represent data, creating a model. All right, so data to be requested from the user will be represented in entry form, model classes. Please refer to class auto loading section for more. Okay, so we have to make this from scratch, I don't think we have one of these, right? So where are our models? Let's see. Model. Where are our models? It says auto load though. Is that this? Come on. Please refer to class auto loading section. Well, let's open this in a new one. Class auto loading. To make the auto loading, you should follow the simple rules when creating and area classes. Namespace, each class. Okay. Well, yeah, namespacing we know. For example, class namespace, blah, blah, blah. Basic project template. Class map. But that's all well and good for sheep. But what are we to do? Base model. All right, so we got to go to base. I don't think I need the config. Base. Where are you, sir? Web assets, CSS, which it should actually be in the, not in the vendor. Vendor we got to close out. Base. I see assets, config. It's right here. What am I looking for? All right, so this is entry form, extends model. I mean, that's in models. Well, okay, entry form.php. Let's put this together. So we get, let's start with the namespace. Namespace is just a shortened version, so you can just say within app models. We're going to just kind of tell it to look in app models, and then from app models, we go on from there. And then we use Will I stop doing that? No, I will not stop doing that. Not us, not ooze, use. And we're going to use base model. All right, so that's that. And class entry form extends class model. Entry. Did it do it in capitals? Yeah, it did both in capitals. Extends model. There we pop it. Okay, public name, email. So we are telling the class what items it needs, and then rules. Function rules. And that's just return them as they are. Return. We put it in array form. And then that is required. Do I have to say rule required? Not just required. And then email is email. Oh, I forgot this. Let's close that out. There we go. Just one. Okay. Email is okay. We don't need to close it with a comma. We're good like that. And now, oh wait, I mean, we do need to close it with this, semicolon. That's, you know, if you feel like you're going to add something else, you can put a comma there. Since Yii2 replace class are commonly used to represent form data. The entry form class contains two public members, both name and email values are required. The email data must be syntactically valid email address. So I guess that's why we have it written twice. You have an entry form object has a response. All right. Creating an action. Next, you'll need to create an entry action in the site controller. Rest creating and using actions was explained in Singular. Right, we know about that. So we have to include in the site controller, we have to include the entry form. But now we can actually take a look at these other forms and just see how they work. And we have to put together an entry or an action entry, I think. What do you call it that? Yep. So the model is the entry form. New model, I guess. Entry form. Well, it's in models, so it makes sense. If model load requested. So when you look at this, when you see app, we're using this object, and it's just naming it. I mean, there are ways that you can kind of simplify that, but this is the way they're doing it. So if model, which is the object that we just created, and we're using a model because this is why we extend from the model class, which I'd love to find, but we extend the model class so that we can use this object called model, in the load function. And then we use the Yii object and we say that app request post and model is validated. So it's another function. Then we render, because you have to let it render. Oh god. Stupid things that come into my head for reasons that don't make any sense. So we have to render the entry confirm, which is just going to be a base and we take the model, a base alert, and if it's using Bootstrap, then obviously it'll be like green or red or whatever. Else, if it doesn't work, then we're going to just return your botched data. Alrighty, so that's that. Action, populate model data post. So if you look at this, as I was saying, we implement the model's entry form that we just created, and typically you would include the model. That is the model, is the entry form. And then within the site controller, we are going to say with this object, which is simply a blank entry form model, we are going to load whatever was posted, and we're going to see if it validates. So when you break it down, this model, like as I was saying before, if we can look at the original model object or class, this model object here, which is just another entry form class, it can use functions in the entry form class that are load and validate, or well, load, no, and validate, I'm sorry. So load and validate. So there's a load which takes which takes this value, and the Yii object has an, or the Yii model has the class, has an object has an object app that you can use to get the request and the post function from the request. So when you look at this, right, like this right here is, get the fuck out of my way, I swear. This right here is just referencing an object. This is an object within an object. So it would be the equivalent of, if you see in the entry form, you see these are just objects within objects. So we talked about that when we were doing classes in the tutorials. And this is a function in the object. And that's how you reference it. So that's how we reference it. Now, you can also give the model its own like self-reference, so that all you have to do is say app instead of app, or whatever. And then from there we return the render of the, when you see this, that means it's referencing itself. So the render function is within the controller classes. So this function in the controller classes is referencing itself with render, function render. So if you looked at the original controller class, you would see a render function. And we're just telling it what to say and what to look for. Okay, so now we have to create the view. Finally create two view files. Entry and, okay, so these are the, I don't know why we need two, but whatever. These will be rendered by the entry action as just described. The entry confirm. View simply displays name and email data. It should be stored in view site entry confirm. I mean, I get why they're doing it, but it's a little much. All right, so now we have to make two of these. So we have to make entry. I mean, now we know how to. Now we know how to reference when we want to send a link or whatever to another page. We know how to reference it. And it's going to look like this. Yii. No, not filters, access control. What are you doing? Helpers, HTML. And there's only one HTML. You don't need two of them. And that's that. I mean, some of this looks similar to Cake, which I like. The following information. Yeah, thank you. And that would be, and that would be, the HTML helper, encode. Alright, okay. And label, Patty label. Email. Nobody likes to put a dash between the E and the mail. Email. Encode. And that was. Alright, so that's that. And the entry view displays an HTML form. It should be. Okay, so then we. That's why. So it sends you to another one. Okay. So then we have entry. No, not. Oh my god. Holy crap. I'm just looking at the clock because I have a few more things I have to do before I go out today. And let's see, use helpers HTML and active form. Helpers HTML. Helpers active. Actually, that would be models. Sorry. Active form. Is it models? Widgets. Well, why didn't you tell me? Okay, so that's that. And then what we do is we go in here and we make a form. So this is how a form would work here. And the form is active form. Begin. Okay. And then active form end. Okay. Right. And now the juicy stuff in between is form field model name. And then form field model email. Okay. And then we're going to do form group. That, again, is when you say div class equals form group. That's just bootstrap. That's all that is. That's a bootstrap class. And then that is the HTML. And HTML has a function called submit button, which programs the submit. Yeah, that's kind of like, this is very much like Cake, actually. It's not as pretty as Cake, but I like Cake a lot. I mean, the only problem with Cake is it doesn't, and then this is another class, right? Button primary. It's very rigid, like it's pre-programmed mostly, but it's still really, really nice. I really like it. Okay, so trying it out, and can we do something with these URLs, bro? Use your browser to access. Wait, why would it be that? Hold on, let's go back. So let's see, index R equals site. So it's just entry, right? Okay. Exception type error. Reverse exceptions. That's a lot going on there. Type error message illegal, offset type. What did I do wrong? Let's see. So, probably, did I forget to include something? Hold on. Use Yii. No, controller's in there. App models entry format's in there. Public function action entry. Model new entry form. Model. Turn this. Render entry confirm. Model. Turn this render entry model. That. Okay. Entry confirm, view site entry confirm.php. Views site entry confirm. Let's see, entry confirm. Yii helpers. HTML, yeah, everything's looking good. That's a use, right? Information. HTML and code. I mean, no. No, didn't have to. Nope. Form equals active form. Like, use your browser access. It says that there's nothing there. I mean, I'm not missing this, right? It's telling me to go to a, it says it's not there. I mean, yeah, it's, like I'm not losing my mind, right? So if I go to my own page, it gives me an error message. If I go to the page, they tell me, what's this? But, so wait a minute. Type error message. Do you have any? All right, so what you're saying is I did something wrong here. Okay, so let's take a look. That's different. Excuse me. According to this, I didn't do anything wrong, though. Did I? Yeah. form field model name. Widgets active. Did I put that in there, right? Widgets? Yeah. Helpers HTML, widgets active form. I didn't misspell anything. Form field. Form equals active form. Begin. This isn't working out. Well, I mean, I could do it like that. I don't know if that'll make any difference. Yeah, because it's their thing, so I don't know exactly. But if I'm copying it from this, what would the problem be? Yeah, all we gotta do is this, and we're done with this part. How do you send me to a place? I don't understand. That could just be like, this could just be if you ran it off your own. I don't know why they had me go to that. This was the entry form. Yeah, that's the entry. What am I not seeing here? Alrighty then. I didn't miss anything. Is there any other? Okay, return this. Let's go over there for a sec. Model equals an entry form. Request post. Model validate. Return this. Render entry confirm. Render entry model. I mean, we're passing it. It's not like we're not passing it, so that's not the problem. I mean, I could try to look at this before I come back and just see if there was something that I did wrong, or see exactly why that would happen. But because it's the entry that we're looking at, right? But I mean, when you look at it, if you watched me use CakePHP, you could see that there's a lot similar to it. Cake just kind of broke it down a little bit further. But I think I just got to look at this a little bit more, because it's giving me a bunch of errors about. So like all of this is just, it lists all the things that you messed with. Like I can't, I can try to go to vendor validator. Like that's just saying what I screwed with, you know. But I mean, we can investigate this a little bit, but I gotta get going soon. Forgot the comma. All right, hold on. Did I forget a comma? If I forgot a comma, that would be. Unless I didn't. Hold on, let's go back here. Let's go to entry form. Did I return? Okay. Well, I think I have too many brackets. That's the problem. Okay, hold on, let me see. So, okay, so this opens the brackets. Why are there that many? Return. Uh-huh. Okay, right, so that, okay. Let's see if that works. Yep, okay, that worked. All right, so then we come here, name cannot be blank. We put in bookman at book.com, and there you have it. All right, so sorry about that. I mean, I just wasn't sure what that was about, but more or less what we just did was very cake-like. And what we did was we made a model that you say that it's required. So if I were to go back and go, well, you saw that they both have to be required. And if I said bookman with just like that one line, emails, not like it'll trigger something with the forms. But as you can see, we're not really doing anything, and we're getting all this styled and everything like this. So I mean, so far it's not too bad. But we're going to continue on tomorrow with, that's it. No, with working with database. We're going to do that. Well, not tomorrow. Maybe in a couple of days we'll work with databases. I'll see you then.